Hey guys, what's up? I'm back here and we're gonna read chapter 3. Okay, let's just go ahead. Chapter 3 of Nightmares in Paradise by Whole Effin' Show slash Fred2266, which if you haven't realized it yet, that's me. Uh-huh. And this chapter is called The Invasion. You'll soon see why. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Over the limit. It was now or never. Philip Brooks knew this. This was perhaps the biggest match of his entire career. He was currently in a match against the WWE champion, Daniel Bryan, with the coveted championship on the line, of course. So far, neither CM Punk nor Bryan had gotten the upper hand. For Punk, that was bad. He had faced Daniel Bryan numerous times, from the WWE to Ring of Honor. He was perhaps the best all-around wrestler he'd ever been in the ring with. Everything took a turn for the worse when, out of nowhere, Bryan had reached out to grab Punk's arm. It was obvious what he was thinking. The yes lock, Bryan's signature move, had yet to be countered by any wrestler. Punk would change that in an instant. He was able to squirm his way out of the usually lethal finishing maneuver. Bryan went for one of his painful kicks, but Punk was able to dodge it. Then, like a thief in the night, Punk was able to lift Bryan onto his shoulders. The crowd knew what was about to happen. There were deafening chants of CM Punk! CM Punk! Could be heard from outside the building. As if on the drop of a dime, Punk used his force to drive Bryan's nose straight into his knee. The crowd erupted as Punk covered the yes man. The referee did all he was good for, jumping down onto the mat in a flash, while all the while making the most joyful free count of CM Punk's professional career. 1, 2, 3! The crowd cheered louder than they had all night. The bell rang, and Tony Chimmel said it as only he could. Here is your winner, and the new WWE Champion, CM Punk! At that very moment, CM Punk had felt on top of the world. He literally was on top of the wrestling world. He had earned his title shot, and he got what he had worked for. The referee presented Punk with his title, and Punk held it ever so excitedly above his head. He then went outside the ring and celebrated with his truly loyal fans. Everyone seemed happy for him. Even Daniel Bryan, who, despite his heelish ways, shook Punk's hand and left for the backstage area, letting Punk soak up all this up. That was a little bit of a mistake. And he did that, relishing in the spotlight he so desperately deserved. Backstage, many clapped for CM Punk and his awesome match. Punk thanked them all and calmly returned to the locker room. He was straight edge, so he would not celebrate in drinking, smoking, or getting high. What a boring motherfucker. He was above all those substances. He would celebrate by hanging out with his best friends. Back in the locker room, Austin Ross, Freddie Hediger, Z-Royal Viking, and Uber Hacksaw Nova all congratulated him on his championship victory. Ryback only nodded, while Nathan Bogino and Zane Dawson continued to watch My Little Pony clips. And Marcus Sims? Well, he sat, jealous of Punk's success. All Marcus had in his possession was the United States Championship that he had just won earlier in the night. Thanks, guys. Damn, was it hard, though, said the Chicago native, CM Punk. He would admit when his opponent had taken him to the limits, and Daniel Bryan did just that. I'm sure it was, said Freddie Hediger, who was playing with his three sons, Damien, Kid, and Tate. D-Bry's one tough son of a bitch. I could beat him, said Marcus Sims, and he's black, so. Easily. He smirked, flaunting the talent he did not have. I'm sure you think you could beat me too, right, Sims? Said the new WWE champion. You give me a title shot and I'll prove it, retorted Sims. He was tired of being overlooked. He was ready to make a huge impact. You're on Raw, jackass, said Nova. Besides, you can't handle Punk's goods. But I sure can handle your mom's goods, said a pissed off Sims. He wasn't going to stand to be made fun of by Nova, of all people. It was pathetic. Ooh, said Nova, putting up his dukes. It's all, motherfucker. Sims snorted. Oh, please. You aren't even a real wrestler. Fuck. Oh, please, dog. You ain't even a real wrestler. This ain't wrestling, douche nozzle. This is fighting. You want wrestling? Get a sex change, then we'll talk. Sims laughed at the idiot in front of him. I'm sure you like me just the way you are, faggot. Nova snickered. You serious? Your man boobs jiggle when you walk. At that, everyone in the room laughed uproariously, except it could be said that Zane and Nathan were only laughing because of My Little Pony. Ryback just smiled. Sims was really pissed now. He was ready to tear this little bitch apart. If you want a piece of Nova, you will have to take down Z first, said Z, one of Nova's best friends. "Aww," cooed Sims. "That's adorable! You better bring all the creatures if you want to stop me." "Marcus," said Austin. He'd become friends with Sims ever since he had turned to a heel. His annoying hick nephew, Jeff Ross, had been getting on his nerves for as long as he had to babysit his ass, which was a pretty long time, but tonight Austin got revenge on the annoying bumpkin. He had squashed his ass in a street fight. "Just let it go, man. You can't be fighting right now." "Fine," grumbled Sims. He didn't hate Nova, or Z, or anybody really. He just had a short temper. If he had to beat the piss out of someone to make an impact, he'd do it. Meanwhile, Nathan and Zane laughed at the awesomeness that was My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. It was their favorite show. They were legit bronies. They owned the shirts, the posters, the plushies, Pinkie Pie underwear, anything related to the show, they had, and if they didn't have it, they would get it. Freddie watched intently along with the senseis of Brony-tude. Freddie was in the process of becoming 20% cooler, as Zane and Nathan put it. Freddie didn't get the reference yet, but he soon would. "I can't believe you agreed to watch that damn show, Freddie," said Austin. Ever since it debuted on October 10th, 2010, Austin and Freddie, like all their friends do in making pacts, had made a pact to never watch the show. But as usual, curiosity convinced Freddie to give in. "It really is a pretty good show, man," said Freddie. Only pussies watch it," said Nova. Marcus and Z nodded in agreement. Zane and Nathan were used to being called such. They were alone in the locker room, it seemed. Now they had Freddie to enjoy the show with, and that made them very happy. "Freaks." "Yeah, well, you wouldn't be thinking that if you gave it a try," said annoyed Freddie. He had only watched one episode so far, but he enjoyed the witty show in all honesty. This comment made Austin, Z, Nova, Punk, and Marcus laugh uproariously. Marcus went in a corner to sit, away from the noise, while the bronies looked on in disgust. "Shut up, assholes!" said Nathan. "Let's just turn the volume up," said Zane, and so they did. It was blaring, though, just like the episode. "There we go!" laughed Austin. They want us to be... "Oh, my sides, screamed Nova. "Z's sides hurt immensely as well," Z said in between laughs. "I will never turn into a Gaylord," teased Sims, while laughing, of course. Marcus just sat in the corner, probably thinking of ripping everyone in this room's neck off. He had learned to be a bit nicer to everyone backstage. He used to just squeeze everyone's face upon arrival, but he learned that was the wrong approach. Ryback didn't talk much. He didn't talk at all, actually. Why? No one knows. Because I just said he doesn't talk, so pay attention. Meanwhile, in his own private locker room, Emperor Pyrozy, a purple alien with a brain of many wonders, was fuming. "Those accursed aliens," said the evil purple alien. I messed it up. "Those accursed humans," said the evil purple alien. "I can't even hear my own thoughts in this infernal racket." Then Pyrozy had an idea. An evil idea. Oh, it was so evil. He grinned from ear to ear at his evilness. I kinda just stole that from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Whatever, I can do whatever I want. Thought Pyrozy. "I think it's time to try out my new invention." With that, he got up, grabbed his weapon, and went off on the long journey to 5 steps away. Pyrozy knocked on the door, but no one answered, probably because no one could hear the knock between a singing Applejack and yelling grown men. So Pyrozy did something to break the noise. He kicked down the locker room door. Immediately, Zane hit the pause button, and the laughing stopped. "Yo, Pyro Dick," said Freddie. "What's up?" At this insult, Pyrozy smirked and chuckled. "You want to know?" said the Emperor. "What is up?" Freddie nodded. "Z thinks you are most purple," said Z, stating the obvious. Everyone face-palmed at this. "This," said Pyrozy, placing some odd contraption on the ground, "is what is up." Just then, Pyrozy pressed a button on the remote to the device, Immediately, the invention unwinded into something big with an octagonal frame. What? What is that? Asked the confused and curious Marcus. Do you want to know? Said Pyrozy. Well, this is the Dimensionomicon. Pyrozy screamed in awe of what he can do with his brain. I can't take over the world with all this noise, so I've decided to give you all an early vacation. Pyrozy smirked and pressed another button on the remote. On cue, a portal opened up. Pyrozy hung onto the door as Freddy, Damien, Kit, Tate, Austin, Marcus, Z, Nova, Zane, Nathan, Punk, and Ryback were sucked into the portal. God, that's hard to say with all those names. Uh-oh, said Pyrozy. It would appear I do not know the strength of my own machines. I knew I should have tested it before I used it for my own personal pleasure. And with that, the Dimensionomicon pulled Pyrozy away from the door, sucking him into the portal. Meanwhile, Equestria. Though neither Princess Luna nor Princess Celestia noticed it, 12 stars glistered in the breezing equestrian air, along with one purple meteorite with a dark aura around it. Then, without warning, a giant kaboom could be heard across Ponyville. Not in Camelot, though, which means neither princess could greet whatever had arrived. The sound of the explosion traveled all throughout Ponyville. Not even the heaviest sleeper wasn't awoken. What the hell was that? Said unsuspecting Rainbow Dash. Yeah, I know she just cussed, but you know what? That's how I picture her, a potty mouth, so screw you. Then she grinned a little. She gained a smile, god dang it. Could it be? She got her lazy ass off of the cloud. She would have to find out what she was thinking was true. The explosion had interrupted Pinkie Pie's baking. She was taking cupcakes out of the oven. The exact moment the noise was heard, she dropped them on earful impact. Whoa! Said Pinkie. That sounded cooly-wooly. I'll have to check it out. But whatever it is, I'll greet it with cupcakes. Pinkie smiled, then picked up the cupcakes from the floor, which was hard to do, considering they burned more than mass. She quickly darted out the front door. Fluttershy was feeding her many animals as the explosion went off, causing all the little critters to hide in fear. Fluttershy was affected as well, screaming bloody murder and flying up a tree for safety. Oh my, said Fluttershy. That rhymed. Worried about her animals' well-being. She didn't have time to worry, though, as Rainbow Dash came crashing into one of the tree branches. It looks like someone got dermatitis. Rainbow Dash! Silently screamed Fluttershy. Are you okay? She flew to the ground to check on her fellow Pegasus friend. Who cares? Yelled an excited Rainbow Dash. Blue is back! Come on! She grabbed Fluttershy, garnering an eep from the terrified pony. Are you sure it's blue? What if it's something scary? Fluttershy shivered in fear. Well, said Rainbow Dash, if it is, I'll protect you. That made Fluttershy feel more comfortable. She could always trust Rainbow Dash, her being the toughest pony and all. Apple Bloom was perched high on top of one of the apple family trees. You sure you're going to catch me, sis? Said a worried Apple Bloom. Of course I am, said Applejack. Now jump down. And as soon as Applejack's back hooves left that tree branch, the explosion was heard. What in the name of Zap Applejam was that? Said Applejack. She then took off, following the sound. Too bad she forgot about her poor sister. Apple Bloom fell to the ground with a loud thump. Applejack! Screamed Miss Redbow. Where you going? She then looked at the side of her flank. Nope, she said disappointedly. Looks like I'm not going to get my cutie mark for landing on my butt. She then took off after her sister, 'cause she's a bitch. As the explosion sounded off, Twilight was reading. I know, surprising, right? The rattle of the explosions caused all the books on the shelves to fall, covering Spike and Twilight in a mess of books. What was that? Said Spike, pushing himself out of the mound of books. Twilight smiled from ear to ear. Twilight? Said a worried Spike. I know who it is. Twilight then ran out of the door. Wait up! Yelled Spike. Man, for a nerd, she's fast. He then ran after her. You're not funny, Spike, shut up. Rarity was the most affected by the explosion. How, you ask? It woke her from her beauty sleep. Grrr! Was all Rarity could manage to say through clenched teeth. Who dares wake me up when I'm indulging in my beauty sleep? She screamed. The nerve of some ponies. She then looked at her photo of Engineer and smiled while blushing. "Unless it's him," moaned Rarity. "Sleep must wait. I'm coming, Dell." She quickly applied some eyeliner and ran out the door. She's a whore. Oh, that rhymed again! God, I'm on fire. A few moments later. The main six all had the same idea. They all met outside of Twilight's house. "So," said Twilight, "I'm guessing you all heard that explosion too?" "Oh, yeah," said an excited Pinkie Pie. "I was making my scrumtiddlylicious cupcakes." That's a word, by the way. "And then I heard a boom! It made me drop my cupcakes, so I figured I'd give them to whoever made that sound. If they don't like them, it's because they fell on the floor." Pinkie giggled. "I wonder how floor cakes taste." She then popped one into her mouth, Rarity cringing at this exchange. "Pinkie, please, darling," said Rarity. "You mustn't eat food that has come in contact with the floor." Pinkie thought about it for a moment. "You're right," she said. "We just mopped the floor today, which means these floor cakes are also mop cakes. They taste good, though, so I'm not complaining." Everyone gave a disgusting look. This all expected, though. After all, it was Pinkie. "I wonder where that sound came from," said Applejack. "Sounded like it came from that field way over there," said Twilight, gesturing towards the field that Team Blue had first been teleported to. "Well, come on," said the non-patient Rainbow Dash. "We gotta go see the guys from Blue." "How do y'all know it's them?" asked Applejack. "Do you have any other theories on who it could be?" said Rarity. Said Applejack. "Jumping mutant graham crackers! They're jumping mutant graham crackers, y'all! The world's in turmoil." Pinkie giggled. "Don't be silly, AJ. Jumping mutant graham crackers don't like cupcakes." "How the fuck do you know?" "For full's sake, they can't even eat." "Once again, how do you know?" With that astonishing statement, Pinkie hopped off towards the field. "We should follow her," said Fluttershy. "Yes," nodded Twilight, "before she does something." "Stupid?" interrupted Rainbow Dash. "No." "Plumb crazy?" said Applejack. "No." "Scary?" cowered Fluttershy. "No." "Before she does something." "Pinkie?" announced Rarity. "Bingo!" agreed Twilight. "Let's go, every pony." With that, they all walked off to meet what had made that awful sound. Boy, are they in for a surprise when they get there. To be continued.